candle going out, you get to this perfectly, then you come to...
And that's back out.
Exactly, it's like, what happened? Better. How about we try? Let's try super slow motion practice in this, it's going to make you realize a lot of the control issues in the texture. So that's what I mean. Super slow motion, high definition, everything, you're seeing everything, hearing everything at a very slow tempo. Yeah, and keeping the intensity. Here at the beginning is just keeping it suspenseful, like, so it's not, you're not giving us everything. Even here, it shouldn't immediately be like a big horn. So can we try it again? Beginning. build up here is good. Sharper at the top. Okay, the E is special. Here, not as sustained. Here. And the ending, I just want it to be a little bit more clear. Like clear and sort of it's driving forwards all